Sorry, the SNAPMAP Top 5 was a little late this week. I had a little incident at the house. I was trying to sleep, and somebody came by my house and wanted to try and wake me up. They wanted me to help them out with something, and so I asked them, what do you need? And it's not important. The point is that their response to me not wanting to help them out was to come in my house and blow it up. So I'm here at the hardware store looking for things to kind of help me fix up what was lost. So sorry about the lateness, but in the meantime, I did get things finished, as you can see right here. So this is, of course, SNAPMAP Top 5 over the course of the week. I played a bunch of snap maps, about 20 of them. I did like some, I didn't like others, and I picked out all the ones I want. I'm about to show you the top 5 as well as my upvotes. So let's go check that out, and I'll look for the things I need to get my house fixed.
Starting things off at number 5 with a bullet is Campaign 1 Raid 3 by Plasma. And don't let that simple name fool you. This is a brutal map. It has permadeath enabled, so you're going to want to be really careful. And it is just brutal. It's got a brutal difficulty and challenge, but it actually manages to be well balanced. I'll explain more in a minute here. Now, the one of the cool things about this map is it's got some very good set dressing, but it's all very simple and functional as well. It doesn't get in your way, so it's really just there to guide the action and make everything look the way it has to look to be functional. It's simple, it's functional, love it. It's also full of a lot of great fun surprises. There's a lot of big bad spam in play at certain points in the map, but it actually manages to be balanced thanks to this open navigation of the floors that you're on. It really what's cool about it is it allows the player to pick their own field of battle, and it puts a lot of success in the hands of the player, which is why it manages to be fun, even if you're not very good at it, which I wasn't. I died. I admit it. I went back, I replayed it, and I died again, and I don't care. I'm going to keep trying this one. Now, if you are a person that likes to seek high scores, one thing you're going to need to be aware of is that the decision was made to make glory kills worth 0 points in this one. And I don't quite understand it, but, I mean, it's there, and you got to adjust your strategy accordingly if you're going for score. And that is one of several map design decisions I felt were a little player hostile, just a touch. I don't really want to go as far as to say that it was player hostile, though, because there was no scrub taunting, and the map isn't there to try to make you feel bad for not beating it. It's presenting a very challenging experience, and you're either going to beat it or you're not. It's awesome for that. The one big piece of feedback I did want to give is there's a mechanic where you can shoot vending machines to get health items, and that feature really isn't explained very well. And it's part of one of several things where player messaging isn't right in your face. You kind of have to discover things on your own, and that's very hard to do when you've got huge massive amounts of enemies coming up your butt there. So it's something to be aware of. But all in all, if you are looking for just a brutal challenge, I can highly recommend this one. I played it a couple times and it kicks my butt every time, and I still keep going back for more. It's Campaign 1 Raid 3 by Plasma, map ID SD6E D2N7. Our number 4 map for the week is Path to Oblivion Part 2 by Xenion. This was a really fun experience here with some well-balanced, very hectic combat. It was supported by a live system that itself was backed off by a pretty extreme walk of shame, if I'm being completely honest. But, nonetheless, it is a consequence for death, and it's one you're going to want to be careful for because this combat is very hectic. It was very interesting in a lot of ways, including the way ammo management and loadout was handled. I felt they were really well balanced in this map. I was really happy with that. Also, some really great story elements. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was really drawn in by the story elements in this map, including a lot of areas that used mechanics that you don't see a whole lot of, like the demon form sequence, for example, all explained very well with the story elements. I was really happy with that. Also, some great set dressing backing up that story elements. Xenion just dressed up the area so well to support the story elements that were getting thrown down. It was a wonderful story all around. I'm really glad I got to experience experience that. Now, some of the things that would definitely feedback about this is there is a section where a piece of the story is kind of missing if you don't keep your eyes open. There's a guy you got to grab at one point. He's positioned in kind of a weird way where you don't kind of see it out of the corner of your eye and you might pass it. I know I did. It was actually a sort of a double back caused by a walk of shame that allowed me the opportunity to realize it was there. The other thing, speaking of that again, that walk of shame is kind of a flow breaker, because the further you get into the map, the further you got to walk, and there's a little bit of exploring going on, so it can break your flow just a little bit. There is also an insta-kill trap in this map that was a bit annoying and really kind of punished players that try to look for secrets or things that are hidden. So I felt those were just a little ganky in there, but here's the thing, I can easily look past all of that and just keep the eyes focused on what was happening here, which was great story backed up by really fun combat. And really, what more can you ask for a map? I can't think of anything. Anyway, that's Path to Oblivion Part 2 by Xenion. You're going to want to check that out with map ID L8DE8HTN. Before moving on with the rest of the countdown, let's take a quick moment to check out the Snapshot Challenge for this week. I tasked players to come up with maps where it was opposite day. Strong mobs were weak, weak mobs were strong, cats and dogs sleeping together was crazy. And 8 mappers answered the call, including Sonnenbloom, Shadesmaster, Z-Manzilla, Voidrunner, JR Crash, Plasma, Banana321, and Ruddo Ziggy. They came up with some really fun maps. You're seeing some footage here from Voidrunner's map, Hounds of Baskerville. I had a lot of fun with all of them, and I highly recommend you check them out using custom tag SS2. You can also look in the description of this video to see my unedited playthroughs as well as everything that happened there. And be sure to search those maps out for yourself. But let's talk about the next challenge. I had this really neat idea where the idea is that the player has only one mechanic in their defense, and in this case, it's explosions. Explosions are the only weapons that players will have in Snapshot Challenge 3. So if you are up to the task, then Snapshot Challenge 3 is Doom Goes the Dynamite. You will create an explosion-themed map where the player can only have a rocket launcher, grenades, both, or neither. Now, as always, we got some rules to go with that. The rules are you're going to keep this to 3 modules or less. You're going to make sure that it's got a 10-minute playtime or part time or less than that. And very important, make sure you tag those maps with custom tag SS3. That's how I'm going to find them when I play them. And when am I going to play them? Well, this coming Friday. The deadline for this is Thursday, October 5th. I'll be playing all SS3 maps on my Twitch broadcast Friday, October 6th, 2017. So be sure to tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, it's going to be a blast. That's right. This Snapshot Challenge, Doom Goes the Dynamite. Let's see your entries. Bang it up. At number 3 this week is Vault of Glass by Daniel Ronca 716. This was a whole lot of fun, and I'm saying that as a person that's usually not into remakes of things, and especially not remakes of things that I've not actually experienced. So that said, this is based on what I believe is supposed to be a very popular Destiny raid. I don't know anything about that. I've never played Destiny. What I do know is this is a really fun experience. Excellent combat, including a really great use of secure point systems. This is a feature I rarely see being used in SNAPMAP, and I enjoy it pretty much every time I see it. But the idea, if you've not used them before, is that you got to secure these. You got to stay near these beacons for a certain amount of time to secure them, and it uses that as almost a central mechanic most of the way through. It's really, really cool. You get full weapon wheel access in this one, so basically whatever style of play you like, you are very likely to run across your favorite weapons in the mix. So, and it's very well balanced, even with that considered. So I mean, the player can attack the map however they want to and not have to worry about not being challenged. It really is remarkable the way that the balancing works in this map. It's really cool, and also some really great set dressing and story elements. And now again, I have a really hard time sort of drawing an association between this and Destiny, because I've not played Destiny. What I will say is what I saw just looked great, including some really great use of custom geos to create these create these, I think they're called oracles, that you had to blow up during one part of the map. It's really cool. And there's also some really great player communication going on in this map, so you're never really questioning what it is you have to do. Now, if I do have to cite some feedback, and I feel I do. It's sort of the format of the show, but in this case, the relic room feature I felt was a little disorienting and confusing. I think this was because the room that has the relic in it, it was using the exact same module asset as the room that you just came out of, and so sometimes it's a little bit confusing, at least for me. In my play, I got a little confused. That said, I mean, it was a very minor thing to get over. I mean, it only took a moment to really figure out what it is I had to do and get right back into the action, which was fantastic. I had a great time with this map. That's Vault of Glass by Daniel Ronca 716. That map ID is R8FG2W8Y, and it is your destiny to play it. Sitting at number 2 this week is Memento Mori Machina by Cheza. This map was really a lot of fun, and most of that has to do with the very strong storytelling elements. Now, you do have a live system backing you up in this one, so, be careful as you go forward. Keep those eyes wide open. Make sure you're keeping an eye open for danger around every corner, but also keep those eyes open for some excellent storytelling elements. First of all, this map does use the Praetor suit, but it does it in a way that actually makes sense. You are playing the Doom guy and only the Doom guy. It actually makes narrative sense to be wearing the Praetor suit in this one. The other thing it does that's very interesting is it actually uses that pull a guy's arm off asset that I'm always complaining about, but it actually uses it in the correct context and front loads it just enough so it just doesn't seem weird. So I gotta say I respect that. It's something I noticed. Good world building going on here, so some great story that served the gameplay very well, along with that awesome set dressing. It was just a really great map to look at, a really great map to have a story told to you, and a really fun map to play. The combat scenarios were fun, they were challenging, they were well balanced, just a joy to fight through all along. I mean, it was just a wonderful challenge. Everything just kept the story moving forward, and I was really happy with that. Also, some really cool lighting effects going on in this as well. I gotta give a shout out for that. So now a couple things I did want to feedback about this one here. I did think the objective driven areas were not at very first run friendly. Although, to be honest, this might have been intentional. I mean, it really did feel like it was an integral part of the design. And, but it is something I noticed. All in all, though, I think the other thing I noticed is that I was really enjoying what this map was throwing down, and I think you'll enjoy it too, with map ID MZU97UHF. That's Memento Mori Machina by Cheza. Enjoy it. Before I reveal this week's number 1, let's go ahead and check out all the maps I upvoted this week, starting with Central Processing by Spunky117. It's a good use of both standard modules and custom geo, good idea and concept using rune decals for power-ups, and I also enjoyed the humor in this map. Didn't take itself too seriously. A lot of fun and challenging as well. Another map I upvoted this week was Complex Alpha by Crusader Aurum. It was a solid first map. It was a good use of core mechanics such as key puzzles, had some well-balanced combat, good use of props, set dressing, decals, and actually a clever use of a Lost Soul jump scare. I give it kudos. Another map I upvoted this week was Disodium Refinery by ASDF 420. Had some decent combat, some pretty good action for a first map, great set dressing and attention to detail, and some secret-driven gameplay that was solid and pretty good, actually. I dug it. Another map I upvoted this week was Maximum Doom, CSRE2M2.WAD, what a mouthful, by Drakaya. Had some well-balanced combat, played well, featured some smart secrets and key puzzles. A remake of a Maximum Doom WAD from back in the day. Pretty good. Another map I upvoted this week was Retribution M1E1 The Facility by Ornstein 7. It's a very good first map with some good set dressing and fun story elements. Dug it. And finally, I gave an upvote this week to Rockhard's Revenge by Psycho Knight 141. It's a parody that was built in under 2 hours to address Grey Wave Episode 2, which didn't feature on this list for reasons I'll let you figure out. But anyway, I did laugh pretty hard at this one. Anyway, you can check out all of the replays of those maps as well as all the other maps I played over the course of the last week. You'll see the links in the descriptions of this video, but hey, you probably already know that, so let's go ahead and just move on to this week's number 1. Coming in at number 1 this week is Ethereal Shard Level 3 by Shadesmaster. This map was a ton of fun. I was really digging everything that was going on here. And I mean everything. It was very difficult for me to offer any sort of feedback here because really it was just a fantastic experience. Let's get the nuts and bolts out of the way here. First, you got a basic checkpoint system to work with here. So, if you do die, you're going to come back and keep killing, which is good because, me, I'm kind of mediocre at this game as it is. So that it's good to know that checkpoint system had my back. It also had some custom systems for pickups, which is consistent throughout the Ethereal Shard series. And, this is something I say often, but really I'm serious here. If you haven't started the Ethereal Shard series from the beginning, you should definitely do that. Anyway, that said, I was a really big fan of Level 3 here. A lot of fun here. Some great looking set dressing here. It had a very consistent ice theme going on, and the decals and the set dressing was used to great effect to really sell that snowy, icy, frozen theme. Some awesome module repainting going on here as well. Use of standard modules with some custom geo to dress things up and make it look super sexy. Great battles going on in this map. Very, very challenging. There were some really awesome layered boss battles as well. Just in general, the combat was very well balanced and a whole lot of fun. About the only thing I was even sort of nitpicky on was I did feel like the first battle felt a little ammo starved, just a little bit, but again, I didn't really think it was that huge a deal. I was so proud to give this map an upvote. Just a huge amount of fun with this map all around. That's Ethereal Shard Level 3 by Shadesmaster. And by the way, Shadesmaster, first of all, if you want to play this, you're going to search for that with ID V3QGEGWZ. And by the way, Shadesmaster, you are this week's #1 Snap Map. Congratulations and snap on.
Okay, but do they have the bomb parts in red? I prefer the red power core for my in-apartment bomb. Well, anyway, that was the SnapMap Top 5. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sitting here trying to, get the rest of the stuff I need. I mean, I got to rebuild the bomb. You can't have an apartment without a bomb in it, right? So, anyway, that was the SnapMap Top 5. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. If you have any maps you'd like me to play, go ahead and let me know in the comments of this video right here, and I'll add that to my review schedule. If you like what you see here and you'd like to see more and you'd like to help me rebuild my house, then go ahead and check me out at patreon.com/zmanzilla. Look at all the ways that I help out the folks that help me. And of course, if you're looking for some artwork, you can check me out at zazzle.com/drawnbutter. And if you want to watch me play these live, just go to twitch.tv/zmanzilla. I play those Monday through Friday, usually starting around 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Anyway, that's been the SnapMap Top 5. I've been ZManzilla. You've been awesome. And see you next week. I'll tell you, never, ever answer the door. You avoid runners at it.